Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to the Liberty Times, the NATO Ankara summit successfully concluded with a joint declaration reaffirming member states' commitment to collective defense and securing 70 billion euros in approximately 80 billion in annual military aid for Ukraine through 2026-2027. Despite initial tensions fueled by pre-summit criticisms from U.S. President Donald Trump, the summit witnessed a dramatic turnaround. Trump reassured allies of the United States' intention to remain in NATO and praised the alliance's unity. In a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, Trump announced the immediate delivery of Patriot air defense missiles and authorized Ukraine to manufacture the missile system domestically. Furthermore, the U.S. approved the sale and deployment of Tomahawk cruise missiles in Germany, signaling a renewed defense consensus. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte emphasized the need to jointly address challenges from Russia and China, highlighting their increasing presence in the northern flank of the alliance. Meeting with representatives from the Indo-Pacific Four, Rutte also expressed serious concern over China's recent missile launches. According to Al Jazeera, loud explosions have been reported in several locations across Iran, including areas near the Bushehr nuclear plant, the city of Chagadak, and the southern city of Konarak. Following these reports, the United States Central Command, CENTCOM, denied any involvement, stating that the U.S. military had not conducted any strikes in Iran during the preceding hours. The developments come amid a fragile security situation with the U.S. and Iran trading attacks since a recently agreed mid-June ceasefire. Local Iranian officials claimed that the blasts in Bushehr were caused by air defense systems, though a military headquarters was reportedly struck by a projectile. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other defense officials declared that the war against Iran is not over, emphasizing readiness for further military operations. The escalation follows disputes over commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, which have severely strained diplomatic efforts. Technical peace talks remain suspended during the funeral ceremonies for Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. According to a report by Asahi Shimbun, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has expressed interest in cooperating with Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries to produce missiles for the Patriot surface-to-air defense system. Zelenskyy made these remarks during an exchange with reporters, noting that any potential progress heavily depends on Japan's own intentions. Since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, Ukraine has suffered significant damage from Russian ballistic missile attacks. While the Patriot system is capable of intercepting these threats, Ukraine is facing a critical shortage of Interceptor missiles, which have previously been supplied by Western nations. To address this issue, Ukraine is actively exploring options for domestic missile production. However, the implementation of any production partnership with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries would require formal approval from the Japanese government due to Japan's strict defense export regulations. The potential collaboration highlights Ukraine's ongoing efforts to diversify and secure its air defense supply chains amidst the prolonged conflict. According to NPR, France secured a 2-0 victory over Morocco in the 2026 World Cup quarterfinals, advancing to the tournament's semifinals. Playing under sunny, 89-degree conditions at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, France dominated much of the play. During the first half, Kylian Mbappé had a penalty kick saved by Moroccan goalkeeper Yassine Bounou in the 25th minute. keeping the score level at 0-0 by halftime. However, the French attack broke through in the second half. Mbappé scored the opening goal in the 60th minute, followed 6 minutes later by a goal from Ousmane Dembélé to seal the 2-0 victory. Despite Morocco's strong defensive setup and significant state investments in its national team infrastructure, they were unable to replicate their historic 2022 run. France will now move on to the semifinals to face either Spain or Belgium. According to a report by the Liberty Times, U.S. President Donald Trump raised security concerns after abruptly switching from his new, luxurious Air Force One to an older model during his return trip from the NATO summit in Turkey. Trump had arrived in Ankara on a Boeing 747 recently donated by the Qatari royal family. However, on his departure, the Secret Service recommended switching to the older Air Force One as a precautionary measure due to renewed hostilities from Iran, as the newly refitted Qatari jet does not yet possess all of the advanced security and defense systems found on the older aircraft. Trump later claimed the switch was due to nostalgia and to showcase the new aircraft to U.S. troops stationed at RAF Mildenhall in the UK, where he boarded the new plane to return to Washington. Nevertheless, Trump acknowledged that he remains a top target for Tehran, especially as U.S. and Iranian forces recently resumed clashes in the Middle East. Security experts have also questioned the rapid one-year modification of the Qatari-donated plane, which typically requires up to 2 years and $1 billion to meet presidential security standards. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.